Hey everyone, we're live. My name's Grace Chavez. I'm NRT's Instagram manager, and I'm super excited because today I'm starting a brand new series called Discover New Music. Over the past couple of months, I've been doing something that I've been calling NRT Live, which is where I talked with artists that you're probably more familiar with. Like I talked with Kay Thompson, Hannah Kerr, Tasha Layton, artists that already have songs on the radio that you're probably already familiar with. But I really wanted to create a space for independent artists to talk to them and talk about their music. I've found that there's so many incredible independent Christian artists, and I think they really deserve a voice. And I'm super excited that every month I'm going to be doing Discover New Music. I'll also keep doing NRT Live. That'll pick up next month. But today we're doing Discover New Music with CLINE. They're an awesome band. I recently found them and I was really impressed by their music. And I'm super excited that I'm going to be talking with them today. CLINE is made up of Garrett and Derek and Jack, and I'm super excited that I'm going to be talking with all three of them today. And I see they're in here, so I'm going to add them on. Hopefully no technical difficulties. I've had that in the past. We will see. Okay. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
I'll get in here. I'm trying to get in here too.
You're good.
Here we go. We're a little crooked. Hold on. Oh, man. How's that?
I know you can never really tell until you're actually on the live stream. I've had that.
So you just knocked Jack and I out of there. So that's cool. Hey, how's that? Okay.
There we go. I can see all of you.
This is my good side anyway from here over.
Well, it's so good to finally see you all kind of virtually face to face. I know we talked on the phone before, but super awesome. How's it going?
Great. We're right in the middle of Holy Week, like everybody else is, and it's kind of like revival week for our church, and so we're pretty much just slammed crazy busy, and then this little dude's planned to come out on Friday, so
congrats.
We got a big week planned.
Awesome. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been very busy for you guys then.
Yeah. Busy's good.
Good busy.
Yeah, good busy. Good busy. We're ready to get, this is Isaiah. It's going to be our second little boy.
Oh, nice.
So we're excited to get him here and kind of get life rolling again.
Awesome. That's super exciting. And congrats again.
Thank you.
And so this is what I'm calling Discover New Music. So really just want to talk with you guys and see how you guys got started and have people introduce you to your music and everything. So first, just tell us about yourselves and how you guys got started.
Yeah. So Jacqueline and I, we've been married for a little over 10 years. And then Derek and I'm their first child. That's my brother. The Derek and I are brothers and grew up playing music together. And we spent kind of the last 7 years touring with a guy named Dylan Scott. He's a country artist at Curb Records in Nashville. And so we've been with his band for 7 years. Before that, we were all, touring and playing, worship camps, D-Now weekends, that kind of thing. And so the short story is when the pandemic hit, we lost our main sources of income. Like we lost our jobs really from touring getting shut down. And we just kind of felt like it was an opportunity and time to reach back into the CLINE thing. And we had met people along the way that not really believed our vision, but also had the same vision as we did, had a shared vision with us for what worship music could be, how it could impact our church and our community, and then hopefully our world. And so we just started making a record. And so we started with a guy named Kurt Gibbs. He's a songwriter at Curb and a producer. And so Derek and I had already worked with him quite a bit. And so we started writing songs. Our last single, Refuge, was the first song we wrote during the pandemic. And got with Kurt, and here we are. We've had a lot of people really kind of be in our corner. CLINE Music is a lot bigger than the three of us. We just happen to have the last name CLINE. So I guess we're in the pictures. But It's really just a group of people from the people we're on staff with at our church to Kurt, who I mentioned, to our creative director, Tristan Cusick, to our friends over at Curb Records who helped us get rights with good songwriters to kind of help us develop our skills. And so it's something that's been going on together for a really long time. And it's kind of like all of these doors started opening. It's like when Paul says in one of his letters, he said, a wide door of ministry God has opened up. And we feel like that's what happened. So, obviously there's a lot of really bad things that happened back, a little over a year ago, starting in March. But as God always does, he's taken a lot of really bad situations and for us, birthed some songs that we hope can really impact the church and, both our local church and, the global church.
Mm-hmm. That's super awesome. And you briefly mentioned how you guys work with Dylan Scott. What has that experience been like for you guys?
Well, first of all, it's been a major blessing, because before Garrett and I started a couple records, and we didn't really know how the music industry worked, and we probably still really don't know.
No one actually knows how it works.
But what that's kind of afforded us is we've been able to have all these friendships and relationships with our producer Kurt, who is producing Dylan, and our friends at the label that have been helping us out. And it's just kind of like, it's almost like God just used it and is continuing to use it as just a door for our music and our ministry that we're wanting to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And we still tour with Dylan.
Yeah, we still,
he's booking some shows this year. And so we're kind of, our number one goal is to write and release music that the church can sing. From there, when we're not touring with Dylan, we're booking shows with CLINE, so we're leading worship at a lot of camps this summer. We're trying to, say yes to as much as we can, and also honor our commitments with Dylan, which it helps to have a great wife on board when you're trying to tour. And we have so much on our plate, and another kid coming too. So it's going to be a crazy 2021.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's so cool how you're able to both work with him and then also release your own music. It's really cool how you're able to bring kind of the gospel into that mainstream environment. So it's really awesome.
Well, that's something we feel very called to, that's when we first started talking about taking CLINE music to, I don't know if the next level is the right way to say it, but just to pursue it more intentionally. It was never, we decided not to leave what God had called us to with Dylan, because there are those opportunities where, I've counseled people as much in a catering green room in the dungeons of an arena, almost as much as I have even in our local church, and so we do feel like it's very much a calling. Jacqueline, even, don't mean to speak for you, but I mean, Jacqueline feels like it's a calling. It's a calling for her to be able to take care of things and keep it going at home while Derek and I are away.
And encourages us, and hey, like, you guys, God is calling you guys to do this, go do this. That's super special to both of us.
Yeah. So it's we're just trying to break the mold of God has created a very unique lane for us. He's called us to a unique calling. And we're hoping that our story is going to help people see that, I'm almost 32 years old and I still have dreams that haven't come true yet. Even though I've lived some of my wildest dreams, and we have all these accolades through working with Dylan and, playing the Grand Ole Opry and playing the Ramen and receiving platinum records and all that. It's all great. But I just want to help people see that, like, if you graduate at 18 and you don't have a record deal, that's okay. Like, God's got other things he wants to do with you too. And that's been our story with Dylan. It's been a path that God has called us to. He's still called us to it. And it's also opened up doors for him to do immeasurably more than we could have ever thought or imagined, as Ephesians 3:20 says.
Mm-hmm. Super awesome. And I know a lot of times people think like you have to work in a church for you to be able to make an impact, but really it's everywhere you can make an impact, even working with a country artist. And I think that's really encouraging for people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, none of our parents were ever on staff at a church.
I didn't see myself being on staff.
That's a
church,
great point.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think that there's been way more opportunity outside of the church to connect people to Jesus than in the church, even at times, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you know, Jacqueline, you know, part of our story is Jacqueline has been on this 12 or 13-year health journey, you know. She lost her dad really young, and you know, that on top of us getting married and into us, you know, planning to have a family, has taken her on this journey. And you know, there's ways she's able to impact people at the gym that you don't get in a 30-minute worship set on a Sunday morning, you know. And so we've just really tried to live our lives in such a way that we are Christians in the world, and there isn't a lot of there's no difference between Jacqueline when she's leading worship and Jacqueline when she's training somebody at the gym, or Derek when he's playing drums at church versus playing drums at Bridgestone Arena. Like, there is no difference. And so we just try to every day do the work that God's called us to that day, the work He's put in front of us, and then also just be very aware of our surroundings and who God might use us to minister to, and also who might be placed to minister to us, to refill us and to bless us along the way too.
That's so great. And then you guys just released a song a couple of months ago called Refuge. What's the story behind that song?
You want me to? Me and Jack would probably tag.
Yeah, y'all tag
Okay.
team that one.
So, like, what's cool about Refuge is it's the first. So we wrote Anchor, the first single we put out. We wrote that like 2 years ago, and just out of like, you know, kind of like the hamster wheel of touring constantly, and we all just have different things going on in our lives. We just really wasn't able to hone in and get that thing released and done. And this wasn't God's timing yet, but. So we did release that one first, but Refuge is actually the first song we wrote at the beginning of the pandemic, like the first song we completed. And so we, you know, Garrett and I, and I know Jack too, but specifically we were kind of like, okay, God, we know this is your plan, but it kind of just felt like everything was ripped away from us, you know, our livelihood, our what we love to do, what we felt like God had called us to do. And it was kind of like a moment for me where I really had to get in check on you know, what do I find my hope in? You know, what do I find my joy in? What do I is it music? Because as much as I love music, that's wrong, you know. And so this song, I feel like Jack just absolutely killed the lyrics on it. You know, a broken melody I bring through the throne of God. You know, and it's just like so powerful. I'm about to cry just talking about it. But that's how I felt, you know, at the start of the pandemic. And wow, Jack, take over before I start crying.
Well, I think it was cool because we all had to learn.
Yeah, sorry,
We're an emotional group of people.
Yeah,
Fine.
We're just real and raw, and sometimes you get tears with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
we be feeling stuff.
But we all had lessons to learn through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And one of the really hard lessons that I had to watch Garrett go through was just like, what do I value most? And what do I find my self-value in? And that's really hard to watch when the person that's led you in your marriage is shook, in a sense, with something that honestly, from my end, just seemed like it was giving so much to our family. Learning that we knew Jesus was our refuge, but we were learning it in a completely new way. Yeah. And it was very unexpected. Yeah. So it was kind of a harsh lesson, but a really good lesson learned. And it just, that song just talks about how, like, I love the lyric, a broken melody we bring to the throne of God. And it talks about, like, even our best song, even my best singing, my best word is still not worthy of bringing to God. But because of Jesus, that's what he wants. He wants all of it. And because of Jesus, God only sees the good in me, you know, and so I am worthy to bring him all my broken pieces. And that was a part of our lessons in learning during COVID was like, we're broken. We don't know why we're having to go through this season of brokenness, but we're still going to offer you this, and we're going to trust that you're our refuge, you know? And so it so expressed what we were learning in that season, you know?
Yeah.
That's great. I know it seems like so many amazing songs have come out of the pandemic and out of hard times like that. And it's really cool to see how God turns even really bad things like that and turns it into stuff like this. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
We always say we believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year we had to prove it.
Yeah.
You know, or we found out we really didn't, in my case.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe it as much as I needed to.
Well, we've gotten so comfortable with the way life was moving that it was like God had to say, hey, wake up. This is not how it's supposed to feel. Like, there's still things that you have to learn and things that I have to teach you and ways that I have to test you. And here you are. Here we go.
And
Let the testing begin.
The best songs always come out of a tough season like that, you know. It's not fun to walk through it, but I'm glad we have some songs to sing because of it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Hold on, let me get the Kleenex.
So you guys are an independent band, and what are some of the pros and cons you guys have found of releasing music independently?
Pros are no one can tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one setting our release schedule. There's no one telling us we can't say something or do something or sound a certain way. The cons are kind of the obvious things of we don't have as much resource for marketing, you know, things like that. We've been really fortunate to be, I mean, just the way you discovered our music, I mean, that would have never happened. I think God did that, you know.
Yeah.
God's connected us with some key people that have really helped kind of expand our reach a little bit, I guess. Because it doesn't really matter how great of a song you write if no one ever hears it. And so I would say the cons are having those resources to really impact a wide range of people. But the pros are just the freedom. You know. And, you know, we're kind of living in, you know, because of our work with Dylan, we kind of understand more than we used to understand, I guess, about the industry and how it works. And but we are, you know, we've paid for everything ourselves. You know, we've had some big blessings from our home church and our community that have really helped us along. And you know, just to that point, it's kind of like if God wants something to happen, I say this all the time, if God wants something to happen, there's nothing we can do to stop it. And if he doesn't want something to happen, there's nothing we can do. There's no amount of money we could pay to make it happen. And so we're just trying to be faithful with every dollar God's given us, with every lyric God's given us. And I feel like that's all you can do, whether you're independent or signed.
Yeah, that's great. And I know I've talked with a lot of artists working with New Release today, and I know that's like the big pro everybody says, like it's the freedom of being able to release music like when you want to. Because I know it seems like I don't know everything about the music industry, but working with New Release today, I've seen it's like record labels have to tell you like when to release stuff and all of that. So yeah, I've heard that a lot, and it seems like that is a big pro of being an independent band.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of firepower and really good things that can come from having a large marketing budget or a large recording budget or a huge team of people. But things do move slower, you know, and so, you know, if we really want to release a song next Friday, as long as we're willing to put in the work, we can release a song next Friday, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, you kind of just gotta be content with where you are, whether you're signed or you're independent. Be content and maximize the resources you have.
And I know this is a Jesus juke way to say it, but like you really do have to just trust God. Like our income did not reflect what we've been capable of doing with CLINE. And God's just continuously put what we've needed in front of us to do the next thing. And so we've thankfully through the beginning of COVID, I think in the first month was like the rough month. And then the second month was when we accepted that God was our provider and Dylan Scott wasn't, you know. And then it was like through that, we learned that when we needed something and it was God's doing, he was going to show up. And money to him is just a number, you know. And so for us, it was just, okay, we trust you. And with that trust, he has been so kind and so generous to take care of every step that has fallen in front of us.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's not to knock Dylan at all.
No.
He's done everything he could do for us.
Yeah.
You know, he's been great to work with. It's just that no matter who you work for, that person, that company, that church even, like they are not king.
Yeah.
God is. And he is the ultimate provider wherever your check comes from.
Yeah.
And I think we've just learned that in a very real way over this past year.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have, and it's been really cool to see how God has provided for so many people, and including my family too. It's awesome. And then what's next for CLINE? What other projects are you guys working on?
We're hoping to release a lot of music this year. I can't really talk about the next song because we're trying. It's just a whole thing.
So it's funny.
We're really hoping
to not say too much. What we just talked about being how great it is to be an independent artist. We're actually caught up in something right now that we talked about that kind of stinks to be a signed artist. And that's all we're going to say.
Yeah,
okay.
So we have a song ready that we wrote with some great people, and we just need a little bit more permission for this song to be released the way we want it to be released. And so I think end of April, 1st of May will be our next single, and then we have 3 or 4 songs coming after that. And we're honestly really just kind of taking it a song at a time, and just we'll see what happens. You know, we have some ideas for what might happen this fall, but I don't know. It's kind of we don't
Day
even.
to day.
Yeah, it's day to day. It's day to day. We just hope that every time we put something out, you'll like it and you'll post about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to listen to the new music.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so cool to have you guys on board. It's been such a blessing to be able to get our music to people that would never hear it. And like every time, we've been doing this forever, but we're a band nobody knows about. You know what I mean? But every time I go on Spotify and I'm like, dang, we have that many streams on this song. It's like, it's amazing. It's because of you guys. It's because of you guys push our music out. You guys do stuff like this. You know, it's just a huge blessing, and it blows me away, you know. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you guys, we found each other, and that you guys are able to promote your music on our website. It's really awesome how that all worked out. And to everyone watching, go check out their music. And I have some rapid fire questions for you guys. I don't know how you guys want to handle this. Take turns. Can each answer. But okay. First one, favorite food.
Ooh.
Steak. Go ahead, everybody else.
Oh my goodness, I'm pregnant. Like everything.
All the
right?
food.
Wings all day long. I can eat chicken wings for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Seriously, salad. I love salad.
Nice. Okay, and then favorite song that you didn't write.
Oh man,
Christ Be Magnified,
Wow,
Cody
that's a
Carnes.
good one.
Cody
That's a good
Carnes'
one.
entire record that he just put out.
That is definitely my favorite song.
Brother Can Write.
Yeah, he's a really great artist, and I love that song.
Yeah.
Also, I will also like Such an Awesome God. A
Yeah.
friend of ours wrote that, Heath Baltigler, and it's a great song.
Yeah. It
So
is.
that's probably my top two right now.
I'm with you on
Awesome.
those.
And then favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
I'm not allowed. I don't know if it's appropriate for our
I
current
know.
audience. John was really into some weird stuff back in the day.
I'll say I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So the entire Star Wars franchise, you just mark that one down as one big movie for me. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't watch it, but our 3-year-old is very aware because of his Uncle Dean and KK. So
Yeah, we're bringing him up.
Nice. Yeah, I've never seen Star Wars. My family teases me about it.
What are
'cause
you doing
I have,
with your life?
I've seen one Star Wars movie. I think it was The Force Awakens, and that was like all I ever saw.
Okay, well, we got. What are
Yeah.
you doing this weekend? We better start Friday at noon.
Yeah, but it's so confusing though, like all the different movies, different orders. Yeah.
It makes sense.
I'm with you.
It makes
I'm
sense.
with you.
You just have to watch them. It
I'm
makes so
with
much
you.
sense.
Yeah. One day
Also-
maybe, but
Also, the movie Drive. I'm not saying you should watch it. Anybody that's watching, but Anchor, that movie soundtrack vibes are like Anchor to a T. Our song Anchor.
That's true.
Because I personally love 80s music and this like the pop synthesizer thing of the 80s, and so Anchor definitely heavily influenced that. Garrett and Jack didn't have a choice on that one.
nice. And then a favorite place that you've traveled to.
Oh man,
Well,
So there you go.
San Diego is my favorite beach city,
Mhm.
but my favorite mountain city is
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs.
Nice.
So
I'm
good.
trying to think.
my
I love LA.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really love LA.
I haven't been yet.
We had some days off on a Dylan Scott tour in LA, and he booked us this really awesome like Airbnb that was like we're in Hollywood Hills.
It was in the
It was in the hills.
It was just awesome.
And that was honestly like it felt like we were in a movie. Like it
Yeah,
was just unbelievable.
I
LA
love
's-
California, but
Mhm.
LA, that place stresses me out. Just the traffic and everything. Like, yeah.
Understood.
it's
I'm gonna
stressful.
say an unpopular city, but mine is Memphis, Tennessee. My wife is from Memphis, and we didn't grow up in Memphis. We grew up here in Kentucky, but I just feel like I'm at home. And I
Mhm.
love barbecue, and I love the Memphis Grizzlies. Go Grizzlies!
Awesome.
So there you go.
And then who is your can't speak. Who is your biggest musical inspiration?
For me, it's probably John Mayer. Not necessarily because of John Mayer, but because of the guys he had play on his records.
Mhm.
Mainly Steve Jordan, Pino Palladino, if there's any like musicians watching. I would say that's probably influenced me. As a group, I think Mute Math,
And I
Paul
remember
Meany, Darren
those.
King,
Yeah.
Mute Math, if you're familiar with them, was a huge influence for us early on. The band Laney, we all really love Laney.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jack grew up just a lot of R&B influences.
Mhm.
You know,
It's hard to list because it's like
we're a melting pot.
in different
Yeah.
seasons. You're so influenced by certain people. Like
Yeah.
I'm not promoting her, but I flipping love Dua Lipa her music right now. And
Yeah.
I like Katy Perry, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah.
Garth Brooks, pretty exclusively for me. Garth Brooks.
Mhm. Awesome.
It's kind of a melting
it's a
pot deal
melting
here.
pot, yeah.
And then this is not a rapid fire question, but how can we be praying for you guys?
Oh man, so Jacqueline's being induced on Friday,
Mhm.
and so we just want to pray for a healthy delivery and a super fast recovery for Jacqueline, because we have camps booked in June, and so I want her to be able to bounce back quickly, and just pray for our church. We go to Hillview Heights Church in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it's a Holy Week is kind of just a really big deal at our church. And so, of course, Jack and I could kind of be out this weekend, but Derek is MDing a lot of what we're doing. And so if you could just pray for Jacqueline, pray for Derek,
Yeah.
I'll be fine. The last baby didn't hurt me that bad.
Well, we'll pray for you too.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so great getting to talk with you guys, and I hope you have a happy Easter, and I will be praying that everything goes well on Friday, and congrats again.
Thank you.
You're the best.
How
Thank
can we
you
pray
so
for you?
much.
Yeah.
Oh, good question. Um, well, this week is this weekend we have a lot going on with our church. My dad has an online church called Church Online. We promoted some of the stuff on the release today, but we have a lot going on Friday and then 2 services on Sunday. So if you guys could be praying for that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we will.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Bye. And it is not dropping off. Okay.
It's that awkward moment when you say bye and then you park next to each other, so you have to walk to your car together.
Okay, I guess I just have to end it all together. Okay. Bye.